Hey, you Stygian Dogs. It's February 28th, and this marks the release of issue number 8 of Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. Companions possessed, now slain. Ineffable evil toying with Conan's mind. We go into issue number 8 with our ensorcelled hero seemingly conscripted as a weapon for Thulsa Doom. Just what is the resolution, if any, that Jim Zub is going to give us here? Will Conan continue to be haunted by the memory of Bêlit? And will we learn more about Briss's disappearance? What are Thulsa Doom's machinations? Let's find out what's in store. But first, a look at this month's covers. And cover A is from Ashley Zanicki. Cover B is King Conan from Patch Zircher, part of his series. And cover C is Greg Broadmoor. Looks great. I've been waiting a while to do this. Let's check out Patch Zircher's Tetraptych in full. I really love what Patch Zircher has done here. It's lots of fun. I'd love to see this available in a print for purchase. I guess time will tell. Okay, so let's get on to the issue itself. And here we go. I'll flip through the book, present a few close-ups of panels. I'll try not to read too much verbatim, but I will outline the general plot and happenings. I want you to be curious and to grab your own copy. Seriously, buy these comics. I want to give you a sense of how things look and to hopefully convey my excitement and a few summary thoughts. But be warned, if you want a pure reading experience, and I know you do, I would caution you about spoilers. If inclined, feel free to skip ahead to the conclusion. On the inside cover, we see an advertisement for a whole whack of great books, The New Savage Sword of Conan and Bound in Black Stone Volume 1. Check out my reviews of both, plus the new Omnibus collections from Titan Books. Opposite that, credits for the teams at Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics. Again, introduction by way of the Numidian Chronicles, a map for wayfinding, and a quick summary of where things stand. We're in the past. Aboard the Tigris, Conan is sparring with the crew when Bêlit appears bearing the Pictish blade, offering herself as a new opponent. Conan denies his queen the use of the blade. She in turn questions his covetousness for the tarnished relic. Probing its meaning with a jealous eye, she moves to throw it overboard. Conan intervenes, declaring that jealousy is beneath her. All that matters is that he is with her here and onward till the end. Zub reminds us that memories like a blade can cut with cruelty, yet in times of great need they can likewise stir strength. Even in times when blood runs cold. Thrice Marked for Death, Part 4, Sacrifice. Grim Jim Zub writer, diabolical Doug Braithwaite artist, dangerous Diego Rodriguez color artist, rascally Richard Starkings letterer, calamitous Chris Butera editor, and merciless Matt Murray contributing editor. Our ensorcelled Cimmerian lumbers through the streets of Shadizar, the recently encountered specters puppeting him to their will, taunting him, taunting the perceived triumphs of the past. The spectral voices controlling Conan demand to know the whereabouts of the sword that was the spear from the man who struck like a god. A curious keepsake carted across continents, at times lost, forgotten, at other times appearing unbidden, most recently sold for a moment's pleasure. Demanding that the blade be recovered for their purpose, Conan storms the trader's shop. A young man rises to his uncle's defense. But the Cimmerian, imbued with ancient evil, is an unstoppable executioner bound to a fate worse than death. The innocent man is slaughtered, head severed from body. Conan retraces the chain of ownership. From trader to smith, and then from one woeful wielder to the next goes Conan, a path of violence wending its way closer to the Cimmerian's quarry. Yet more violence as Conan arrives at his final destination, a museum housing relics, and the museum's guards' anguished cries echo through the halls, his leg removed in a terrifying flash. Scholars run to collect the blade at Conan's behest, a storm raging within. And here Zub begins to tie together the threads of the yarn he's been spinning. In a maelstrom of memory, Bêlit appears. This vision of flood of the past. Could the Cimmerian be finding himself, or could it be that Bêlit has found him? The spectral voices implore Conan to retrieve the blade, declaring that it shall be corrupted, feed it to the fallen till Master Thulsa Doom wakes once more. Yet he resists, his pact with Bêlit echoing through the part of the soul that remains his. Sword in hand, raised, Bêlit intones, "We shall live this life full-throated and fearless." And when we die, even gods shall gasp at the loss. Conan, once again raising the blade against the vessel, plunges the sword that was a spear through his own chest. And as in part 4 of Bound in Black Stone, proximity to death finds Conan in a nether plane with Brule the Spear Slayer. Events rhyming with those of the past. Brule's words fade, and now it is Brissa of Brule's line that advises Conan to hold fast to their spirit. A brief moment of recognition, a companion once then lost, reunited in the present in a place beyond time, hold fast to their spirit and arise. An explosion, havoc. From within, evil purged, the reader, as with the witnesses to the event, are left to ponder the outcome. Is Conan 'neath the rubble, transported to some other plane, face to face with Tulsa Doom, or perhaps reunited with Brissa? And so concludes the second excellent arc of Jim Zub's Conan the Barbarian, brilliantly realized with the assistance of Doug Braithwaite in his Conan debut. Zub promised us that this issue, number 8, will take the arc to a wild conclusion, saying he looks forward to readers seeing it all spiral to the climax. That was a promise fulfilled. There is but one immediate thought, though.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
Zub leaves us with yet another cliffhanger, now to be addressed presumably in issue number 9 with the assistance of Roberto de la Torre. I will wait patiently to see what happens next. Opposite the explosive cliffhanger, an ad for the Savage Sword of Conan title relaunch. Be sure to check out my review of the issue. Turning the page, we find the next part of Jeffrey Shanks' Robert E. Howard and His Ages Undreamed Of. Shanks begins this essay referencing the ancient black stone that appears in Howard's People of the Dark. He then traces the theme of the black stone as a motif in Howard's original stories, running throughout several of Howard's horror and dark fantasy stories in the early 30s, tracing it to the influence of Welsh horror writer Arthur Machen. Finally, he references the black stone, Howard's best-known example of the motif. The black stone in this story is a monolith, carved from a mysterious black stone that is but the tip of a spire of a great black stone fortress, buried beneath the earth in some ancient cataclysm, linking to an abhorrent past. Definitely check out The Black Stone, it's a fun read, and definitely read Shanks' essay in full. After the essay, the chainmail letters page, followed by the covers gallery, and then an ad for the Funcom video games on the back cover. As I contemplate things, it's apparent that a key to this second arc's success was how it benefited from the heavy lifting of Jim Zub and team's myth building in Bound in Black Stone. Sure, passive fans may not have been concerned with Brissa being a Pict, but the choice to explain her Pictness as a divergent lineage stemming from Brule took effort, requiring Jeffrey Shanks' essays as footnotes for reference, and possibly to assuage the concerns of fans keen on consistency. This is what makes Shanks' essays essential reading, by the way. Of course, by issues 3 and 4, these concerns were largely put aside, and here in the second arc, thanks to that ambitious and well-laid foundation, and all to our benefit, Zub was free to let loose. From the heist story in issue 5 to the spectral possession and sword-seeking in this issue, we've been given a thrill ride of action, and Doug Braithwaite played no small part. The arc certainly earned its mature rating through his hand, giving us a sexy, well-drawn Bêlit, pages of the female form, though demonic often be thy form, and severed appendages aplenty. It's brutally awesome. Though this sexy, bountiful action is not the only reason Braithwaite is now one of my favorite Conan illustrators. One of the greatest strengths in his debut run is how he captures Conan's emotion, his melancholy moments of contemplation, and the effort of action, and especially his fear. Back in issue number 5, the fear written on Conan's face upon seeing the Black Stone, this is what sold me on his Conan. In Howard's stories and in the comics, Conan's unease and fear of sorcery and the supernatural are frequently mentioned, but can come across as almost throwaway lines. But with Braithwaite's Conan, seeing it depicted so viscerally really hits the mark. It raises the stakes, and as a friend of the channel said, it grounds the character and increases the odds against him, while making the ultimate triumph all the sweeter. Braithwaite's depiction of Conan reminds me that Conan is two heroes in one. The fearless, indefatigable warrior when confronted with human or natural foes, and the wary realist when confronted with the unknown. Master of one situation and steadily persevering in the other, both strategies for triumph, rounding out the individual. Zub's story benefited greatly from Braithwaite's abilities in drawing both action and emotion, given that throughout the action was balanced against the haunting memory of Bêlit as painful backdrop. Conan's melancholy, the sharp loss and cutting memory of Bêlit, and the pact they made, and of course Crom's gift of cold steel, seems to serve as the clarion call to Conan's renewal. Ultimate loss transformed, a pact made that both defies death and welcomes it in defiance of the gods, to live full-throated and fearless under no being's command. Free, Conan will not bend to evil's torment. Defiant sacrifice will meet it in its stead. The effort that Zub put into fleshing out Bêlit's role in this story results in a satisfying payoff. A smart, thoughtful, soul-wrenching journey that conjures Bêlit into being in both a sublime and transient fashion. In this arc, that effort is art. I've not yet decided if Thrice Marked for Death issues top those from Bound in Black Stone. I think that'd be a lengthy essay with far too many caveats. For the time being, I'll miss Doug Braithwaite and Diego Rodriguez's superb pages as we revisit Roberto de la Torre and Dean White in issue number 9. And while I'll enjoy the return to the previous team, I'll in turn be eager to return to this one. Thanks for watching, liking, consider subscribing. I am working on a bunch of different things. We'll definitely take a look at issue number 9 and the return of Roberto de la Torre. And don't forget to check out my look at the new Savage Sword of Conan. And until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.